Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline, BYU all-time great quarterback, one of two BYU QBs to own a winning record in his career against Power 5 teams over the last 30 years. 6-3. Max Hall is with us. Max, welcome back to the show.
Hey, guys, what's up, man? It's good to be back on.
We're stoked to have a winning quarterback against Power 5 teams on the program. Max, what is it about you and those games against Power 5 teams that generally brought out your best?
I just think that they were scared of me. It was an intimidation factor. You know what I mean? No, you know what? I just we had a good team, and I was surrounded by guys who were big-time players who played, well in big games. And so I just think as a group collectively, we just believed that we could beat anybody. And, that helped us out no matter who we were playing. Thought we could win.
We saw you, Max, at some of the BYU spring practices in the last month or two. What was your impression of the battle for the quarterback position?
Well, first of all, I want to say I was very impressed with the couple days that I was there, being able to sit in the meetings and be at practice with everything that's going on. I really like the new offensive coaching staff. I think Jeff does a fantastic job, and he's surrounded by some really, really quality, good coaches. I mean, you got three guys in that room that have called plays before. And the offense that they've come up with, I think, is going to be really fun to watch this year. So it was fun. I got to sit in the quarterback meetings and watch a little bit of film and go through install with them. And, I really like what I saw. I think you have some quality quarterbacks in there that are going to be battling it out. It's going to be fun to see kind of who wins that battle.
Okay, Max, the question of all questions, which is always a tough one to answer. If you had to put someone on the field for BYU today, May 11th, and go play a game against Arizona to open the season, who would you start at quarterback and why?
That is a tough question. That is a very tough question. I think you have to go with Tanner because it's Tanner's job to lose, in my opinion. I think Joe and Bo are right there on his heels, and it'll kind of depend on what shakes down. But I would probably go with Tanner, even though I saw some really good things out of the other quarterbacks while I was there. But I don't think you can just take that away from him with a new coordinator and everything going on. You have to see how he adjusts to the new offense.
We saw you talking with Zach Wilson one day, just for a few minutes, and you were talking about being in that quarterback room. What was your opinion of Zach Wilson, specifically after watching him, say, in spring practice and in some of those moments where, you kind of want to see what a freshman is going to do?
Man, I love Zach. I really like him. And part of the reason why I don't think he should be the starting quarterback is I don't want him to break my win record. So I want him to sit down for a few years. But I think he's that type of a kid. He's a special player. Whether or not he's going to be ready to play or even can be a starter this year, I don't know. I haven't been around enough to see if he mentally is handling what's going on. But I will say this. There was one play in the spring practice that I was there where it was a 4-vert play. And he ended up hitting the tight end on kind of a little over route to the opposite hash and completed it for a touchdown. So I went up to him afterwards. I wanted to see what was going through his head. So I go, Zach, tell me what you saw. And he goes, well, it was 4 verts. They rotated to a single high, so I knew I had a 2-on-1 with my 2 inside seam routes. I looked him off to the right and then threw my seam route to the left. And I went, okay. That is, that's stuff that you expect to hear from a junior or senior. And for him to come in, he should still be in high school right now. I think he missed his senior prom to be at spring ball. So, it was impressive to hear that from a freshman.
Talking with Max Hall on BYU Sports Nation. When you hear Zach Wilson explain a scenario to you like that, it's probably, I guess, appealing and almost tempting for the coaches to be like, maybe he should play this year. But is there value to letting a guy like that just kind of sit in the wings and wait and watch everyone else for a little while before you throw him into the fire? You don't want to throw off his mojo too early as a freshman.
Yeah, and that's the tough decision you have to make. And I think that between Tanner, Bo, and Joe, that I would not play him unless you absolutely have to. If there's injuries or if there's if those three just aren't getting it done. Because there is a lot of value with him being able to sit in that offense for a whole year, keep learning from Aaron and from Jeff, get some reps on the scout team, and kind of get his feet wet in college football before he plays. You know, I had the opportunity to do that for a year at BYU before I played, and I feel like it was really beneficial for me.
Max, when do you think that this changed with players? Because that used to be the norm, where guys would come in and they would sit, and that just isn't the case anymore. Guys want to come in and play right away. When and why do you think that has changed?
Wow, that's a tough question. I just think that the emphasis and the training and the coaching to quarterbacks has just risen to such another level that a lot of these kids that come out of high school are ready to go physically and mentally to play in college. There's not a lot of them, but there's a few of them, and we saw that in the national championship game last year, right, where you had two young quarterbacks going at it and playing high-quality football. So it's credit to coaches, and it's credit to them getting those kids ready to play. But those are special kids who can do that.
Max Hall, former BYU quarterback great, played with the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL, is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Max, we're calling BYU's 6 toughest games this season the Gauntlet. 5 games against Power 5 teams, Arizona, Cal, Wisconsin, Washington, and a season finale at Utah, plus a road contest at Boise. How many of those 6 games does BYU need to win for it to be viewed a success when you consider how difficult the overall schedule is?
I would say at least 3. I say they have to win at least 3 of those games. I think for the team and for the fans and everybody to be happy. I honestly think they're capable of maybe winning 4 or 5 of those games, but it's tough when you play 5 quality teams like that. I mean, a lot has to do with does your team stay healthy and how your preparation goes for those games. But if we can get 3 of those, I think we'd be happy.
Max, we are granting you the ability to guarantee a win over one of these 3 teams. You can guarantee a win over Washington, Wisconsin, or Utah. Which one are you going with and why?
I'm going to go ahead and go with the classy answer here. And I'm going to say I'm going to guarantee a win over Utah.
And why would that be, Max?
Because it's about time. I think it's about time that we go beat those guys again, man. I think we're all sick of it. It's time that we beat them.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. We missed you at the Fan Fest in Arizona. We know that your boy was pitching on the mound, but maybe that was just convenient because do you really want to be around Dennis Pitta and Jerem Jordan?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When I found out those 2 were going to be there, I said, I'm sorry, but I can't. No, on a serious note, those are two of my favorite people, you know. It was my wife's birthday, and, yeah, my little boy was on the mound. But it didn't last that long. All he needed was 9 pitches to get out of the inning, so 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, attaboy. Max, it's always great to talk to you, man. Survive the heat down there. We're looking forward to a big BYU football season, and I'm sure we'll be calling your number to discuss the Cougars' 2018 schedule a lot over the summer if you're okay with that.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a call. I'm planning on being at that U of A game, so hopefully I can be out there, see you guys there. But, yeah, let's do it again. Let me know.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Max.
Okay, see you later.
Max Hall on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, your values, your timeline, your financial future.